I thought, it would be good to just set context for why we're having this discussion. And so if on the left we have, degree of use in financial services, and on the x-axis, degree of digital marketing sophistication, I just wanted to map out what I'm seeing and what I think we're seeing from the statistics. And, from a customer service standpoint, I think financial institutions do a very good job engaging their customers on digital. We use email to send campaigns. We're using it to say, hey, Mr. Customer, here's here's some information about your account, or here's a new product that you might find interesting. Doing a fairly good job at that. Certainly, we all hear about how great financial services is at generating customer insights. So actually using those mountains and mountains of data that are out there on credit ratings and all this, demographic information to whittle down and figure out, hey, what does the market really need? What products and who do we target for these particular products? But I think actually translating that insight into campaigns is a whole nother issue. And it's still a very big challenge. You can create the products, but how are you creating the language to really address and sell those products across the market? And that kind of brings me to the next point here, which is from a customer acquisition standpoint, the degree of digital sophistication is not high for a financial service institution. They're using, we're still using these as campaigns, but from an acquisition standpoint, not doing a great job translating those insights into campaigns that are really going to target and increase in upsell. From a retention standpoint, same thing. Not highly, it's being used, but the degree of sophistication is not high. And then, cross-channel, and this is why we're really having this discussion. Financial institutions are very good at printing collateral and creating the materials for the branch. Translating that into a digital strategy is where we struggle. And so what we need to do is really bridge this gap between the kind of what we're good at and what we need to be good at. And we can apply, all these tactics we're using for customer service, we can apply those to retention and acquisition to increase performance. So let's look at what top-performing financial institutions are actually doing differently. And if I map this out, I like this concept of the kind of chasm approach, where you've got everyone else kind of struggling. And let's talk about it. And I think this is an opportunity for you to think through, can I benchmark our organization? Do we see some of the same trends here? So what do they tell us in the research? 95% of the kind of average financial service institution plans to implement initiatives to drive offline and online campaigns in 2011. So, that tells you there's somewhat of a lack of integration between online and offline in these organizations, and they're seeing the opportunity and they're putting it on the roadmap. 67% have a difficult time finding the time and resources to develop personalized copy and creative. It's really more a lack of expertise, and frankly, the multiple channels that you're creating content for pose a lot of challenges. So I think this is an area particularly where we are going to explore and go deeper in this presentation, because there's a huge opportunity from a digital standpoint to improve your content. And 82% indicated the quality of cross-channel customer data was a top 3 challenge for email personalization. So, data quality and content, that's something we really need to explore here. From a top performer standpoint, what are they doing differently? Well, they kind of stuck their feet in the water on cross-channel campaigns years ago. And so we see, 65%, well over half, have been doing this or trying to do it for a few years. And I think that comes with risk and reward because they've had to learn the hard way in many respects in some areas. But we can take advantage of that with some of this research and really look at what a true best practice is and skip learning the hard way. 47% align customer engagement to the customer life cycle. I'm going to talk about the buying cycle that customers go through, and mapping your content and mapping the way you engage with them is critical. And these organizations definitely identify that. 87% currently support mobile access to content through email campaigns. Millions of people are accessing email and almost exclusively do it on their mobile device these days. And so you have to think about how you optimize your email, optimize your digital engagement for mobile access. And it's not just about, giving them a mobile app to access their bank or, check on their deposits and whatever. It's really about making the content also easily consumable on mobile. And then 34% are actively pursuing social media initiatives for customer engagement. And this is an interesting one that we're really going to talk about because I think the question for everyone now is, should we even, as a financial institution, should we even be focused on social media? And the answer here is actually those social media initiatives are all about monitoring. They're not really about engaging, and I'll show you why.